Welcome to Luck of the Twin, your walking story. So today I was thinking about talking about addiction and how, that's affected my life, but then I know that, there are people out there that struggle with all types of addictions, anything from smoking to alcohol, um, pornography to gambling. And those last two happen to be what I'm struggling with, what I've struggled with in the past. Most of my life, I've you know, had the temptations to look at pornography, had the temptations to go gamble, and it's very difficult to drop those addictions. I mean, it's a high. You obviously receive enjoyment from it, and you think it's healthy enjoyment, and in the long run, it's causing effects on relationships, which it has on mine in the past. How I perceive what a healthy sex life looks like versus a non-healthy one. And entertainment is mostly fake, and so when we look at entertainment as a guide to how we go about our real lives, it's not the right portrait that we want to see or examine from. And so it's really interesting to look at this in a level to even share mine. you know I used to play poker 3 or 4 times a week in a free poker league. But with playing so much and getting so good, I'm thinking, okay, now I can go start playing for cash and doing games and tournaments. And for the most part, I do pretty well. But then there'll be those times where I would go off and gamble off $500 one day, and it's like, man, I probably could have used that money. And it's been some time where I've kind of thrown down that kind of money, and I've had to take a step back and look at myself in the mirror and like, man, this is not who I want to be. I don't want to have this vice that is in control of me. I want to be in control of my finances, I want to be in control of my mind. And so when I started limiting myself from doing these things and seeing, finding my true self once again, not the person that is in this addiction mindset that's, oh, I got to have it, or I got to go out and play. And there's maybe times where my wife will wake up and I'm like, not home, and she's like, call me, where you at? And I'm like, I'm not want to tell her that I'm out at the casino gambling, or I'm out at a home game gambling, because I know that's not the right call, and I should have let her know. And so when I started doing, I was like, man, this is not right. Like, if I don't feel comfortable enough to tell my wife, hey, I'm gambling, then, or hey, I'm watching something on my phone I should be watching, and because I know how it's affected me. And just now being transparent with her and letting her know, hey, I'm still struggling with this, or hey, I'm making improvements, and I'm seeing myself in a new light, and can you just help me? And so if I do play cards, I'm like, hey, I'm going to play a little bit, I'm only going to play with this much, or hey, I'm going to give it out cold turkey for a while. And so then the whole cold turkey thing for a while, and it's really working out. We're getting on top of things, and staying clear-minded on the path we want to take. We don't know what this year is going to bring us. I'm praying for good things, and we're doing a lot of work in our relationship. A lot of having a kid is really difficult when you're trying to have me time and have time for just a couple to have in-depth conversations. And so that's where I lie. And if anyone's struggling with any type of addiction out there, just know that, like, you're not alone in this. There are people that are struggling with what you're struggling with, or something else. But it's a day by day process. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Hey, I got to give this up cold turkey in one day. It takes time. It took me time, for sure, to say, hey, I treasure my relationship more. I treasure my friends more than this addiction. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I've dealt with pornography all my life, even as a child. I mean, I'm sure it stemmed from the trauma that took place in me as a childhood that made me grow up a lot quicker than I should have. I mean, I can remember me and my friends riding our bikes, and we'd find, like, magazines. We're like, oh, hey, cool, we're gonna take these home, and it's just, as a kid, you don't really realize until you get to an adult, like the damage that is done in your mind, and how you perceive a healthy sex life, and how you perceive that in a relationship. And so by that point, the damage is done, and it's really difficult to get back to where you started. But it is definitely possible, and you can't give up on yourself. You got to keep pushing forward, and you want to be that true self. In the last 6-7 months of being furloughed from my job and then laid off and then looking for work, I've had a lot of time to sit there and by myself and look in the mirror. Even when I got COVID and I was in my room by myself for 2 weeks, getting better, keeping away from the family. I mean, I had to really stop and look at myself and go, man, this is not who I want to be. And that's the thing, is we're going about our lives and we're so busy with work and school and life and friends that we don't take those 10-20 minutes or an hour a day to stop and think about, hey, where am I? Am I at in life where I want to be? Is this the person who I want to be? I have a lot of anger that I hold inside, and I'm trying to, get rid of it, obviously, trying to tame it. And, it all ties back to my childhood, and it's very difficult. And addiction plays really easily in people that have been affected by trauma. And they're trying to find an outlet. They're trying to find a way to not think about those thoughts, of what took place in their lives, no matter what it is. And, these addictions are an escape. But when we come back to ourselves after those addictions, we're the same person. It's just we're layering all this stuff on top of the problems we already have. And a problem isn't going to fix a problem. So I encourage you all, just take the time to look within yourselves. Take the time for you. Go on hikes, go on walks. Just get out from everybody and just, work on yourself. Remind yourself, is this who I want to be? Is this the person that I am? And what is my full potential? So that's what I encourage y'all. And I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend with your friends, your family. And I really, truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and hear, the deep things about my life, in hopes that it'll help you. And I really appreciate you taking the time. And this is Luck of the Twin. My name is Timothy. You are a walking story. Take care, y'all.